Okay, just to spin off of what I was talking about yesterday. One of the beautiful things about the trade that is very unique to the trade, and it doesn't matter which trade you're in, is it is a short path to being a business owner. I don't know personally a single tradesman that hasn't thought of running their own business, because it's sort of hand in glove, or appears to be hand in glove. That is not the case, but it certainly appears to be hand in glove. And the only other ones that I can think of that sort of line up like that are like doctors and lawyers, that they too have a fairly short path to running their own show. Engineers, no. Obviously policemen, teachers, and firemen, who are all government workers, aren't included into that mix. And so I'm sure there'll be people that mention others, but that's the beauty of the trade, and that's also the downfall of the trade. Is anybody can start a business and use their ticket as the backing of coming off as competent and professional, which I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses, open and fail almost immediately. And so we got to be careful. Like I've said before, like you should take some business classes, or at least if you're going to get a partner, you should get a partner that understands business. I don't necessarily recommend getting a partner, because then you're, having business partners is a complex relationship. Make no mistake about it. But those guys, and there's lots of them on here, that have just started their business in the last couple of years, and kudos to them. Like as I've said before, anyone that's willing to bet on themselves, I think the world of. It will be interesting to see how that sort of pans out for everybody in the next sort of decade, because what you're embarking on is not an easy journey. It is not a guaranteed journey. I was talking to Leon there at Kenco Plumbing, and he got his tax bill is more than he thought it would be, which it always is. And as soon as you start a business, you will find out very quickly that the government is not your friend. And in fact, you're the one that funds the government. And most of the programs that they talk about, and most of the expenditures that the government makes, is statistically off of small business. That's the largest contributor to their tax base, which is depressing. And also, a word to the wise is why you need, those accountants and lawyers to help you get where you want to go. I think there's not many other ways I can say it. I think that the avenue that the trades provide is just an outstanding way to provide for yourself and your family, as long as you avoid those pitfalls. And that's part of what we're trying to talk about here. I am doing live with Dennis tonight, and I, as usual, you try and drum it up a bit as being controversial or some conflict or battle of wills, which it's truly not. We're going to obviously talk about hourly versus flat rate, and lots of that stuff depends on your environment, what you're trying to do, who your customer base is, so on and so forth. I very much understand how I sound on here. It does come across as authoritative and confidently the only way to do things. But that's the beauty of this, is after being in business for 30 years, I can see that there's many different ways to become successful. And you need to look at your own situations and figure out what's best for you, and what's the most advantageous way for you to be as successful as you can be. And that's part of my harping on the influencers of the world, is you selling product to other tradesmen is not enhancing the trade. It's just not. You're not making things better for the rest of us. The true influencers are not at the trade shows, not in the booths. They're in the schools. They're in the elementary schools or the junior highs. And I would encourage each and every one of you to, if you have small kids, to talk to your principals and say, hey, how can I contribute to being part of career day, or exposing these kids to the trade, and do a demonstration on soldering, and a demonstration on press, and maybe how to snap cut a cast iron, something that's got a little panache to it that'll intrigue the kids and show them how awesome being a tradesman can be. That's where it starts. That's where we got to go. Once they sort of get their footing, then fine, go to the trade show. That's what I see, is when they go there, they already have a bit of a base and know what they're looking at. They just show up there like with no experience. They have no idea what's going on. So I think it has to start way sooner. That's my message today. Get out there, find some kids, make a difference. My thoughts, not yours.